Hey guys, this is Arya uh, from California. All right, so we are a family of three with two adults, me and my partner, and one kid. Some background about me: I'm a graduate in finance and commerce, postgraduate in information technology and business administration. So we've been following the fire community for a long time. And in the last couple of years, we've been looking at countries where we can settle for early retirement. We love the states where we live presently, but would like to explore all our options. Being from IT background, I like evaluating options very methodically and logically, right? For me, it's the numbers that matter, right? Not emotions. Of course, my partner takes the responsibility of the non-financial aspects, but I basically look at the numbers. Is it practical from a financial standpoint? So when we started looking at some of the countries where we could immigrate to, our analysis led us to the state where we are today, where we feel that we can settle in either in the United States or move to Portugal, France, or UK. So those are the three to four options. Now, as we start our deep dive analysis, the now before that, let me talk about how we came to those shortlisted countries, right? I mean, we considered various factors like ties to families and friends, cost of healthcare, cost of college education, freedom of speech, education, healthcare, all of that stuff, right? So, and I know there are enough videos on the internet that guide you through that process. So we are not going to be talking about those. Um, so once we shortlisted, or now that we have shortlisted these countries, we need to look at what the various expenses can be in those countries, right? Uh, so my goal in creating these videos and releasing some of these tools is to reduce the hours and hours that one would have to spend to do the same analysis, which me and my wife kind of did across the various expense categories. Um, and I just want to call out here that this video is going to be unlike some of the other, or let me say most of the other visually creative videos that you'll find about relocating. This will be all about numbers, giving you, the viewer, most crisp and compressed and condensed information that you would need to, in my opinion, arrive at a decision in less than 60 to 120 seconds, literally. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. All right. So with that said, there we go. All right, guys. So the way this tool works is uh, it asks you just three to four questions, and it tells you what your monthly or yearly budget is going to be for cellular or mobile plans, right? So let's go through this. The first thing you need to do is figure out how many adults are in your family or kids whom you may or may not want to give them a phone line, right? So it says, okay, first question, how many people are in your household that need a mobile phone line? In our case, like I mentioned earlier, we are two adults, so we need two phone lines. The second one is more of an information. So you just need to fill the ones which are in green, right? So if it is not green, you're not supposed to touch it. You only read it, right? So it says, will you use WhatsApp, FaceTime audio to talk internationally, right? And now why I say it's yes, I was when I started building this tool, I thought I'd give an option to folks who use this to say no, right? But then as I started doing more research, I realized that um, international calling can get really expensive from Europe to US. So what I'm recommending here is whomever you have to call, you use WhatsApp, FaceTime audio, or FaceTime video. And I personally, being in California, as I'm doing my study, I've spoken to many businesses, immigration attorneys, tax consultants, and accountants, and all of them use WhatsApp, right, or FaceTime audio. So you'll never have a problem with this, in my opinion, right? So uh, the cost you'll see at the end of this tool will or assumes that you will be using WhatsApp, FaceTime audio to talk internationally, right? So this stays as yes, and here I'm calling out majority of the folks do use WhatsApp, Telegram, or FaceTime audio, right? Those are the three popular tools. All right, so now this is the most confusing and interesting tool, and this is where I spent a lot of time to kind of make things as simple as it can be, right? So now let's go to average usage calculator per phone line. So all the questions that are being asked here are for a single phone line. In this example, there are two, but whatever answer you give thinking holistically, right? So let's go through this. How many text messages or SMS messages you plan to send daily, right? In our case, we said, okay, not more than 30. I mean, you're talking to a doctor, you're talking to somebody, your friends, colleagues. You will probably text them occasionally. Most of the time, you will be using WhatsApp, right, or iMessage, which just uses data, right? And most of the time, you might be in a house in that case. Well, we are retiring. We are doing early retirement. So in our case, majority of the times we would be using a home Wi-Fi, right? So for us, we said, okay, 30 text messages a day, right? The next question you need to decide on is how many minutes of phone calls do you plan to make daily, right? And these are normal minutes, normal calls that you do using your phone dialer, right? Not WhatsApp call, not FaceTime audio calls because they use data. So in this case, how many minutes will you do? So, and on our side, we did an analysis and we thought, hey, 30 minutes to 40 minutes per day on a single phone line. And this is consistent, like every day, 30 minutes, right? So this is on a higher side, we think, but whatever, right? So I put this in there, right? Now, so this is what you have, and then this is where the next most complicated question that you need to know is to figure out how much data you're going to consume. Now, I come from a background in IT, and I kind of know how much data is needed based on what activities a person does, right? So if you're using watching Netflix video, Amazon video, or doing video calls, a lot of internet calls, they use considerably more data, right? But if you're planning to use your phone data, which when you're out and about, um, for mainly um, uh, Google searches, maps, sending WhatsApp text messages, or maybe a couple of images here and there on a daily basis, then you will give an answer of yes. And say you wanted to use one of the phone lines or both of the phone lines that you have or you plan to get for heavy internet usage, right? Basically, not using your home Wi-Fi for the video and internet calls. So you would choose no here, and the tool recommends you to see how many fill in how many lines you want to use for heavy internet usage, right? So in this case, let's say I decide to use one of the phone lines will be used for heavy internet usage. Now, that's it. You're done, right? Now the tool recommends it does your calculation based on how many minutes you will need on every line. And at the end, figures out how many lines you should be using on unlimited plan and on a limited plan, right? That's it, right? And then the magic happens behind the scenes in the section 3, which gives you the recommendation. Here it's giving you prepaid limited plan, prepaid unlimited plan. It's giving you one and one. And now it's figured out that there's what's the best plan on one of these networks called Leica Mobile, and then it figures out there's a plan called Leica National M plan, and it costs 15 euros a month, and the limits on this plan on this prepaid is are these are in fact more or greater than these, right? So how do you know what are these limits? the tool goes to the second sheet, figures out I have fed in this data and extracted it from these sites, and just figure out, okay, it takes thousand, gives you 1,000 minutes, 1,000 text messages, and 15 gigabytes a month, right? And here you see how much data I foresee you plan to use in a month, right? Now, this 300 is coming assuming that you will use 10 megabytes a day, right? So 10 times 30 is about 300 megabytes a month. You basically slightly more because the calculation uses 365 days and divides by 12, right? So you don't need to understand all this. I mean, if you are the curious kind, you want to go into the weeds, you can absolutely go ahead and explore the formulas, what's happening here. But it's pretty straightforward, right? If you consume 10 megabytes a day, then you will consume 300 a month. If you think you're going to be using 20 megabytes a day, you just change it to 20 and you see it changes to 600. But in my analysis, if you plan to use it only for like text, WhatsApp, and generally light searching, 10 megabytes is good enough number, right? So so you have 300 here, and then the tool figures out, okay, I know for one of these you wanted to use for heavy usage, so it said, okay, for heavy usage, it should use the unlimited plan, and for light usage, it recommends this plan, and these numbers are much under this limit, right? Under these three limits, and then it recommends you this, right? So it takes it, summarizes it, gives you the recommendation. That's it. This is not at all. Now, if you see this in this way, right, it's very the tool is recommending you in a very systematic way. There is no if buts. It doesn't account for any discounts which some of these providers might give you. There is always some promotional discounts going on. I'm sure whichever country you're coming from, there are holiday discounts and all of that. I was doing this analysis to see what my budget would be if there were no discounts, right? By all means, you should take those discounts, but yeah, how does the price go up once the discounts get over? If you are from US and if you've ever taken some of the plans, you know what I'm talking about, right? There is a 1 year plan, 2 year plan, and after the 1 year, 2 year promotional offer, the price almost doubles in some case, right? So I didn't want to account for that in my budget, right, or in my planning here, right? So that's what it is. I plan to keep these rates for these providers. Oh, I don't think I talked about why did this Neo come in right here, and why am I recommending this, right? Well, we are on a fire journey, so we want to pay the least amount for the best amount of service, right? So here, if you see, this is as of November 2022, Mio is the least expensive plans of the three main providers, and that's what's kind of I have it here, and then that's the reason why it's recommending here. So in this case, let's see how this tool works. Say you decided, you know what, I'm going to be using heavy usage for this, but for the other one, I'm going to be using 60 minutes a day, right? So the tool figured out, you know what, that like a national plan, which gave you 1,000 minutes, it doesn't work because you're going to be using 1,800 minutes a month, right? So all you have to do is just answer these questions in green based on what you think your usage is going to be, and then the tool will give you the recommendation. That's it, guys. This is doesn't get any simpler than this. And let me know what you guys think about this tool, or if you have any suggestions, or if you have any um, uh, issues that you see in this analysis. And also would really appreciate if you guys kind of if you like this video, would really love it if you kind of like and subscribe my channel. I plan to launch many more videos and tools like these. The next one is most probably going to be about my broadband usage. Then it's going to be for schools. Then I think utilities. So let me know, guys, which one you want me to do next. All right. So with that, I want to say thank you, and hope to see you soon in the next video. Cheers.